All right, what's up, y'all? It's Brandon, aka Kisses HG. This is our second podcast. Technically, it's our first because the first one we're not posting on YouTube. It's on my stream if you want to go watch it. This podcast is the name is to be determined right now. We don't know the name yet. I mean, if you guys have an idea, you
Mhm.
guys can put it in the comments or whatever. Doesn't matter. But yeah, we just do a bunch of fun stuff here. We're gonna ask some questions. We're gonna play a little bit of like mini games and stuff like that. But and then we can get into like hot topics later on. But yeah, how you doing, Mateo? How's everything going?
I'm doing good. Fresh out the shower, brushing up on my knowledge,
You,
researching. I'm
you
ready,
ready to debate today?
sir.
I'm ready to debate with you. We have some good debates going on. We're gonna start off with some mini games like drafting to like ice break the podcast a little bit. We're gonna start off with redrafting the 2017 draft class. We're gonna redraft the first 10 picks according to how they're playing, how, according to how they've been playing since they got drafted to today. So injuries will play a factor in it as well. So if someone got injured and we know that they're a star, but they were injured in here and there, that might affect their rating, unless they go higher or if they go lower. But yeah, so we'll get it started. We're gonna start off with the first pick. I think the first pick is pretty easy. It's gonna be Jason Tatum, obviously. I think there's
Yeah,
no
that's
debate on that.
that's the obvious pick.
I think
Um,
there's no debate on Jason Tatum being the first pick of the draft. Um,
Definitely not. I know who I'm going with. Number two. Number two. I think number two has to be Donovan Mitchell.
I was gonna say Donovan Mitchell too. Actually, it wasn't actually that tough as I thought it was. But yeah, Donovan Mitchell was for sure gonna be number two. Um, Number three, this is when it gets a little tricky because there's a lot of ties out
Yeah,
here. I feel like there's a lot of
it
people
really
that can go
is.
either way. Um, I'm gonna go. I think we have to go with De'Aaron Fox
I was thinking the same thing.
because he has had a more like consistent career so far, other than some of these other people. But there's someone that's right behind him too, and in my opinion, I think that's Bam Adebayo.
Yeah, I think Bam Adebayo. I was debating on going him third, but the way De'Aaron's been playing this season, I think he's a little more up there. Bam's
Yeah,
definitely a solid four, though.
Bam is good. Bam is for sure really good. Um,
Number five.
Number
See,
five.
number five, if we're going off consistency, because Lowry Markins having a great season, but it's only been this season. I think if we're going off consistency,
Exactly.
for me, it's between actually it's hard. It's between three people. It's between Jared Allen, OG, and Kyle Kuzma.
Me personally, I for sure say Jared Allen.
Jared Allen, right?
I think Jared Allen's up there.
Because even when he wasn't getting PT on the Nets, he was still balling.
Yep. Yeah, Jared Allen.
Oh,
I think he's been pretty consistent. He's had a pretty solid year, and he was an all star. He was an all star.
he was. This is
He
true.
was
He
an all
was an
star.
All Star recently.
But yeah, so Jared Allen at five, right? That was five.
Yeah,
Going into six. Um, I mean, I heard you say OG last one, but at the same time, like it's kind of the same thing as Lowry. Like OG had a solid year last year, but this year he's really picking it up, just like Lowry. But
yeah.
as term as a whole career, I'm going Kyle Kuzma
I
for
was going with
six.
Kyle Kuzma too. He's been solid since day one.
Yeah, Kyle Kuzma number six is for sure. I think the better option. It's the more safe option. We know what he can do.
Yeah,
You know. Um. Now, me
I think.
personally, you were saying
Uh,
other people, and I know injuries affect it a lot. But number seven, me personally, I think people got to put more respect on his name. I'm going with Alonzo Ball.
I thought you were going with Lonzo Ball.
I'm going with Alonzo at number seven, man.
He's definitely, I'd say, because I don't consider Donovan Mitchell a true point guard. He's a shooting guard, so he's
Oh,
definitely the second best overall to this point of their careers. His second best point guard in this draft.
yeah,
Um,
I think he's
I
the
think it's
best
respectable.
playmaker in this draft for sure. And I'm sorry, it might be debatable, but he's a top five defender in this draft too, especially and in his position, probably number one in this draft. You
Oh, for
know,
sure.
so the
Yeah.
defense playing a factor, the
The best
playmaking is
defenders in
playing
this
a
draft for
factor.
sure. The best defenders in this draft for sure are Alonzo, Jason Tatum, Bam,
Jared
and
Allen.
Jared Allen. Yeah, OG
Yeah.
too. He's 5.
OG solid
Those are
too.
the top
Yeah.
five.
But yeah. So
No disrespect to Donovan Mitchell, but these guys are just better.
all those things playing a factor, and that's why I have them 7 over everybody else. But a lot of people may be different. But if you want to agree with 7, we can put them at 7. If you don't want to agree with 7, we can
No,
put them down to 8.
I'm looking at everybody else here, and we're talking like pure talent. I'm gonna put him there, although he's been injured as of recently.
Yep.
But I feel
Yeah.
like after that we got to go Lowry.
Larry marking at 8. I'm fine with that. I'm fine
Yeah,
with that. Larry marking at 8, but for sure at number 9, we can't keep disrespecting this guy. It has to be OG.
for sure.
OG. And then number 10, I think this is just as easy as everything else, but this guy is also very disrespected in this draft, and I think it's also because of this year itself. But number 10, we got to put some respect on his name, John Collins.
John Collins. I don't know how I feel about John Collins.
A lot of people don't like him, and I
It's
can
not
see
that
why.
I like him. I just look at production overall, and I think as of the past 2-3 years, who I would have above him would probably be maybe Dylan Brooks, but I think definitely, believe it or not, Josh Hart. Josh
Okay,
Hart's averaging a double
you
double.
know, I could see Josh Hart, but Dylan Brooks, John Collins is way better than Dylan Brooks, in my opinion. I think he's way better than Dylan Brooks, in my opinion. But we could, if you want to do Josh Hart is there. We could do Josh Hart, but John Collins has to be 11 though.
Yeah, Josh Hart is dogging this year.
I
It
forgot
really
about
is.
Josh Hart in this draft class actually. So you're right. We could do Josh Hart. Josh Hart's good. This draft class
Josh
wasn't that
Hart.
bad though. You know, they had a lot of people in there. They had Derek White. You know, they
Yeah, they
had
did have their.
they had
I
what you
thought
call it,
I thought
Josh
Justin
Hart. I didn't
Jackson
know
was
that.
very.
I thought when you said Jared Allen, for some reason in my head I was thinking of Jared Jackson as well.
Yeah.
But Jared Allen is, I mean, better, so it's okay. But yeah,
But
yeah.
wait. Where is this guy Josh Jackson? He was drafted number 4 by Phoenix. Where's he at now?
I think it was the injuries. I think he's still at Phoenix. I'm not. No, 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 no. No, he. I think he's in Detroit. He was in Detroit at some point. I'm pretty sure in his career, but I'm not sure anymore.
You're right.
He
Right.
was good.
Detroit.
He was
Yeah,
good.
he's with
It's just
Detroit.
I think it was injuries, or I think Phoenix wasn't playing him. To be honest, it was one of the
Okay.
two there. But yeah, that have it for the 2017 draft redraft. I mean the man this. To be honest though, like the 2017 draft, there's some good people here, but I think this was the biggest like disappointment draft class of all time. Because
Yeah.
all of these
I mean,
names
they
were
were
supposed
saying,
to be amazing.
yeah, they were saying Lonzo Ball was going to be one of the best point guards ever. That's
Yeah.
how closely high they were hyping him.
And Marco Fultz was supposed to be an MVP by
I
then.
mean, because when you look at this draft, number 1, Markel, bust so far.
Yep.
Josh Jackson, bust.
Yep.
Jonathan Isaac, injury prone.
Yep.
Where's Frank Nikitina? Dennis Smith Jr.
Yep.
just
Bust.
barely got out of the G League again. Zach
Yep.
Collins, bust. Malik Monk, solid role
All
player off
right.
the bench.
Luke
Kennard,
Kennard, you know
okay,
what? I'll give him that though.
he's
Luke Kennard's a
he's
good
valid.
sharpshooter. You know, if it was in a team like Detroit that drafted him, if it was a contending team, Luke Kennard would have been an amazing pick.
I
Where
mean,
he's
yeah.
at.
Then we got Justin Jackson, Justin Patton, DJ Wilson, TJ Leaf, Harry Giles, Terrence Ferguson. Can't even pronounce that name. Caleb Swanigan, Tony Bradley.
I think
Those
it's
people should
safe to
have.
say though. I think it's safe to say that if it's not Donovan Mitchell, then Donovan Mitchell was a steal of the draft, or Kyle Kuzma at 27. But
Yeah, for sure,
Donovan Mitchell at 13, bro, he's easily a top 2, top 3 player in this draft. That was a steal for sure.
for
Man,
sure.
but dude, he was drafted to Denver.
I know. I'm looking at that right
He
now.
was
It's
drafted to
crazy.
Denver. That's crazy. But yeah, this was a big letdown draft. But they can't all be hits. A draft that so hyped, something was bound to happen for it.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to our next topic. It's still gonna be draft, but we're gonna draft all-time big men. So the way
Okay.
that this is gonna work is that I'll get the first pick of this draft, you'll get the first pick of the next draft, and we're gonna draft a starting five of big man, point guard through center,
Yep.
but they all have to be big men. All right.
Okay. Okay.
So I mean, I think it's fair to say the first pick of this draft. I mean, it's easy. It was an easy pick for me, and I'm going with Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, that's a really great pick. I was thinking about going with him number one. If you picked him, then I gotta go with. I'm gonna go with Kareem.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick, Kareem. I mean, a lot of people are probably gonna hate this pick because it's not who they want it to be. But you might have the steal. I mean, damn, you might have a steal if I pick this guy or not. So to clarify, okay, this is all centers or all big men.
Um, I think we should keep it all centers
All
because
centers.
when we go with all big men, you and I know there's some people who play the four, like
Yeah.
Dennis Rodman, who isn't really a four. He just couldn't shoot. You got people like that.
Are we considering
You
Dennis
got
Rodman
people
a four though, or are we considering him
who
a five? Are we considering
who
Dennis Rodman a four or a five?
realistically he played the five.
Yeah,
I would
he
consider
did.
the five.
All right.
He got rebounds like a five.
Me personally, I know everybody's gonna hate if I don't pick this guy, so I'm gonna pick him anyways. I'll pick Wilt.
You're picking Will? Okay. Okay, that's
Yeah,
a good pick. I was debating on picking him. There's
I kind
two
of like
picks I
Kareem and
want
Wilt.
here. I feel like the right answer is what everybody thinks I should go with, but I don't know. I no disrespect to him. Rest in peace. I don't want him. I want Hakeem Olajuwon.
Damn, that was my next pick. That was my next pick. I really think you were gonna go Bill. Hakeem was for
That's
sure
what I was
my
debating
next
on
pick.
going.
Hakeem was my next pick. Now, some people might debate this guy's not a center, but he was listed as center. He was a center. I'm gonna go with him because he can run my small forward. I'm going with Charles Barkley.
Okay. Okay. Right now, let's see. I got somebody covering the paint. I got the post hook covered. I'm gonna need some shooting. I'm going with Dirk Nowitzki.
Damn, but is he a five though? Is he?
You know what? Let me look it up. Let's get a fact check.
He's
Let
a
me look it up.
power forward, bro. I consider him a top three power forward of all time. I don't consider him a center.
Let's get a quick fact check. Yeah, it said, yeah, you're right. It says power
Power
forward
forward.
and center.
He's power forward.
He's power forward.
He's power forward.
Okay,
Power
then.
forward.
Um, why might as well? I mean, I think maybe it's a little early, but my team needs shooting, needs playmaking. I'm gonna need Nikola Jokic.
That's a good pick. That was gonna be my. That was probably gonna be my next pick for the point guard. Um, I think I had the sleeper of the draft for my fifth pick, so I'm not gonna pick him now. If you pick him, I'll be very sad. Shaq, Wilt, and Charles Barkley. So me personally, Shaq was a good facilitator. He was very good on the break. So he'll be my point guard. Wilt's gonna be my center. My small forward is gonna be Charles Barkley for sure. My power forward though, I want to draft my power forward first. Save the shooting for last. Uh, my power forward. We were talking about him earlier, but man, 11 rings is 11 rings. I gotta go with Bill Russell.
That's true. Yeah,
I
that's
gotta
a
go with
good
Bill.
pick. Um, I still need some scoring. I need my shooting guard or small forward. I'm gonna have to go with the legend himself, Tim Duncan.
That's a power forward again. That's the greatest power forward of all
What do you
time.
mean? He plays center.
Who? No, he doesn't. That's the
Who was their center?
greatest. Who was their center? David Robinson.
Nope. Tim Duncan's listed as center and power forward after.
Ah man, dude, a lot of people consider him the greatest power forward of all time. I mean, I listen. I'm gonna let that one slide. I'll give you Tim Duncan.
I'm
I'm
just
gonna let you.
saying. I
I'm
looked it
just
up.
saying,
He's
if
listed
there's a
as
lot of,
center and power forward.
I'm just saying, if there's a lot of comments in this video, I hope they attack you for that one. But it's okay.
I'm,
I'll give you
I'm
that
not
one.
saying he didn't play power forward at times. He did, but he's
I'll give you
listed
that.
as this.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that one. All right, this one's gonna be very controversial. But I need shooting. And this guy's gonna be my sharpshooter. Um, I think it's not premature to say this because he's. I mean, the guy won a 3-point contest, bro. He's the greatest center
I
shooter of all
already know.
time. I'm
I
going
already
with
know.
Cat
Yeah, you
as
go,
my shooter. He's my shooter.
man. You know, now that I this because you have your top five now. I'm on my last pick. Now that I'm
Yeah,
thinking about it, there's multiple ways I can go, but you need shooting.
you do,
You know what I mean?
and you don't have that.
I only have two shooters right now. I only have two shooters.
I wouldn't consider them shooters. I wouldn't. Tim Duncan's a mid range. You got a lot of mid range shooting for sure. I wouldn't consider
I'm going
Jokic
for the
a
three
sharp
here. I went with Chris Bosh.
Chris Bosh. Okay, now him, I'll give you him as a center because he was also power forward as well, but I feel like he played a lot of center too. I mean, you got two controversial picks in Tim Duncan and Chris Bosh,
Oh,
but it's okay.
don't forget. He was the starting center because then you had Bron running the four. Remember, he was 4 and 3. Then you had the three was Ray Allen, the two was Dwayne Wade, the one was Mario Chalmers. Birdman came off the bench. So Bosh
I'll give
was
you
the
that.
five, although he was more like a power forward. He was playing
I'll
five.
give you that. I'll let your last two picks slide, but I think I won this draft for sure, easily. I do think I won this draft, but it's all right because the next one is going to be the all-time point guard draft, and
Okay.
you get the first pick this time. So let's see if you get an advantage here.
Um, I just feel like if you're gonna get, I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Shooting is the most important thing, usually in a
I knew
point
you're
guard,
gonna
because
do
they
it.
expect them to
I knew
play.
you're gonna do it.
I'm gonna have to go Stephen Curry.
I knew you're gonna do it. The greatest point guard of all time. I don't care what nobody says. I'll debate that with anybody as much as possible. But I guess I gotta go with the second greatest point guard of all time because I can't give you Magic and Steph on the same team. So I'm gonna go with Magic Johnson.
Okay, that's good. It's a good pick. Well, I'm gonna go with baby Magic Johnson. I'm gonna go with Steve Nash.
I wouldn't call him baby. I mean, for the size, yeah, but I wouldn't call him baby Magic. Magic was 6'9". You know, there's
That's
not
why he's
much like
baby
that.
Magic.
There's not
Similar
much like that.
numbers,
There's not much
just
like that.
super short.
Magic is gonna play my center. Actually, he played center before, so he can do it. I have him play the center for me. Um, Personally, my second pick, I guess not kind of tough because do I want shooting off rip? Because there's some good shooters at the point guard position, but do I want to pick
There are
people
some.
too early? You know, people.
See, I don't know if you're gonna pick him, but if you are, you are. I don't know because I don't even know if I'm gonna pick him. But
I
like Kyrie right now does not play the point guard, but he was a point guard for a
I
long
know.
time.
Well, yeah,
But he's a point.
he's. I wasn't. That was not a question. Kyrie's a point guard. Like you could say the same thing about my last draft with Cat. Cat's technically not a center right now. He's a power forward, but
Right.
but yeah. So the thing is, I don't want to get a lot of boomers mad with my picks because I'm gonna pick a lot of modern day players. I don't trust a lot of the old,
I mean, I feel that
the back in the day and the
because
era
back then
players.
those point guards were true playmakers. Back then, they weren't looked to
Yeah.
score
But you
that
know
much.
what? This would be my starting point guard. Although I have Magic, Magic would be my center. He could facilitate here and there, but my starting point guard will be Jason Kidd.
That's good. That's good. Right now, I got my starting point guard is Steve Nash. I got Curry at the two. I need a big boy.
You do,
Need a
and I know who you're gonna
facilitator.
pick. I know who you're gonna pick.
I'm gonna go with Luka Doncic.
Oh, that's not who I thought you were gonna pick. Luka Doncic is a good pick. He's a good pick. I thought you were gonna pick someone.
6'8" guard. You know, he's a
I
big
think
point
you.
guard.
I thought you were gonna pick someone completely different. Well, I mean, man, there's a lot, man. There's a lot of guards. There's a lot of good point guards. Jason Kidd was a solid shooter, so I might move him to my two. Cause this pick, I can't disrespect him. I can't disrespect him. I'm gonna need him on the team. But at the same time, maybe he could play power forward. I'm drafting him no matter what, but I'm thinking if he's gonna go point guard or power forward, I think I'm gonna put him at the power forward, Mr. Triple Double, Oscar Robinson,
That's a
the
good pick.
original Mr. Triple Double.
People are gonna heat me in the comments for this, but I need some size. Point guards don't
I
have that
know.
much size.
This is who I thought you were gonna pick the last one.
I'm gonna have to go with Ben Simmons.
I knew it. This is exactly who I thought you were gonna pick last time. I
The
really thought you
big
were gonna
point
pick Ben
guard,
Simmons last time.
not a great shooter, but he really does play like a center, just as a point guard.
I'll
Drives,
give you him.
plays.
Some might debate he's a power forward, but I think he's a point guard. I'll give you the point guard for him. Magic, Jason Kidd, Oscar Robinson. Man, I really didn't think. You always talk crap saying, "Oh, Magic is way better than Steph." I didn't think you were gonna pick Steph Curry. I really didn't. If not, I would
The
have gave you
shooting.
first pick for the big man draft. But it's all right. It's all
All
right.
right.
Damn. Oscar Robinson, Jason Kidd, Magic Johnson. I mean, I still think I have a really good team. Um, I don't have a lot of. This is all time. So since it's all time, you know what? I'm gonna keep him last. I'm gonna keep him. You're not picking him. I know you're not gonna pick him. So right now, I'm gonna go with this guy's gonna be my one. Jason Kidd's gonna be my two. John Stockton.
Okay, that's a great pick. That's a great pick. So right now I got Steve Nash at my 1, Steph at my 2, Luka at my 3. I got Ben Simmons at the 5. I need some energy. I need some juice. I need the legend that never was. I need. Obviously, he's overall, but I'm giving him the prime. I need prime Derrick Rose.
No
Stand up. He's
way!
at
I
the
should have
4.
picked him.
He
That's
is the
exactly who I was
juice.
gonna pick. That is exactly who I was gonna pick, dude. I'm over here thinking like maybe he's not thinking about prime D Rose. Like maybe he's not. So I'm gonna pick John Stockton first because there's a chance that he'll pick John Stockton over prime D Rose. I didn't think you were gonna think about prime D Rose, man. Damn,
Loves prime.
that was the steal of the draft for sure. That was the steal
That
of
was
the
back
draft.
when the Bulls actually had Christmas games.
Yep. That that was the steal though. I was actually gonna pick that guy, but I'll pick a close second, I guess, because I do need some explosiveness. Now I'm gonna pick the second triple double guy, Russell Westbrook.
It's a good pick.
I think you
That's a
beat
good
me
pick.
on this draft, but at the same time, a lot of old heads would think that I beat you on this draft. So,
That's true. That's
so
true. We know the numbers, but I've never really truly seen a lot of games of John Stockton. So
yeah.
someone like
I
that, I
mean, we
don't.
weren't born, so. You know?
Yeah,
But I like my team though. I do.
I
I like
definitely like
the
my team.
Magic at the center. I think Magic will lock up Ben Simmons anyways. We'll be fine at the center position. So I'm gonna go down. I think in our center position, Magic is better than Ben Simmons. So I won there.
Yeah, I agree. I
Power
agree.
forward, man, who's your power forward? Luca,
Prime Derrick Rose.
Prime Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose. Period. Derrick Rose.
I got Oscar Robinson over him too. To be honest, I'm sorry.
I'm be honest with you. I think Derrick Rose is dunking on him like he did on Gordon Dragic. I don't think he's able to stop Derrick Rose at the hole. You got to think about it.
You're
Prime
right.
Derrick Rose is basically with even more dunking what John Morant is doing right now, scoring
No, that I
24
know.
points a game as a
Yeah,
whole.
he really is. John Moran is really
And
just
back
like
then,
Derrick
they
Rose.
didn't call as many fouls back in 2011, 2012.
You're
So he's
right.
getting banged up going in there.
Right. But imagine Oscar Robinson there.
That's true. Who's your 3? Who's your 3?
My three is Russell Westbrook. Your three is obviously Luka Doncic. Then you can have that, Luka.
Yeah.
Um,
The 2, I got Steph.
the two is Steph. Okay, you have the two because my two is Jason Kidd. But
And then
Steve Nash and John Stockton, I gotta go John.
I honestly can't say. We have to leave it up to the comments because I
We
don't know
do.
too much
I like
about
my team.
John.
I like my team. I like my team.
I
I
think
think
I
you
think my
probably have a slightly better team. I for sure beat you in the big man draft. I think, in my
yeah,
opinion.
for sure.
But this one I'll give you. I'll give you it just a little bit. Um, but yeah, so we got the drafts over with. Unless, I mean, we were considering doing the ball player draft if you want to do ball player draft. But if you want to move on to the next topic, we can. It's up to you.
I say we move on to the next.
We'll move on to the next topic. All right, that's fine. All right, I didn't really know too many bald people, anyways. So that probably would have took a little while. All right, this next one we're gonna do. I'm gonna give you 20 questions. Um, you got 20 questions to ask me, yes or no, and you have to guess the player within 20 questions. The 20th, if you get up to 20 questions, that 20th question has to be the guess.
Okay.
Okay. If you guess a
Okay.
player before the 20th question comes up, and I say you're wrong, it doesn't matter. The game keeps going. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you can start. Question number one.
Okay. Is the player black or white?
He's black.
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Is the player black?
Yes.
Okay. Is the player an international player?
No.
Okay. Is the player a shooting guard?
No.
Okay. Did this player play for the Golden State Warriors?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see here. Is this player Draymond Green?
No.
Okay. Is this player from the draft class 2012?
No. I believe that's six. That's your sixth question.
Yeah, that's 6.
You're on number 7 right now.
Did this player play before the Golden State rebranding of the team? Meaning when they were wearing the orange, navy blue, and white uniforms back in the day.
Yes.
Okay. Is this player Baron Davis?
No.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Is this player a small forward?
No.
Is this player a big man?
No.
Okay. Did this player have a father in the league?
Yeah.
Is this player Stephen Curry?
Yeah. That's the 12th question. You got it. I try. I mean, I feel like it was so obvious that you wouldn't get it. You know, that's why
That's
you're
really what
guessing
it was.
Draymond and
After
Baron
the third
Davis.
one with the Warriors question, I was like, "There's no way he picked Steph Curry for real. There's no way."
That's why I picked him because I thought it would be too obvious. All right,
I thought for sure it was gonna be Baron Davis.
yeah.
He
So
was
do
a
you want?
dog.
You have one for me, right? I have two
Yeah, I
more.
do.
So do you want to get yours out the way? You want to finish mine?
Let's finish yours. Let's finish yours.
Okay. Go ahead. Question number 1.
Uh, is this player from the '90s?
No.
Is this player a big man?
Yes.
Is this player from or was draft? No. Was this player drafted by an Eastern Conference team?
Let me double check. I don't want to give you false information. Yes.
Is this player international or USA?
Yes or no question.
Okay.
So no, it's a yes or no question. So that was 2 questions.
Right.
So ask one of them.
Is this player from the USA?
Yes.
Did this player play power forward?
No.
Did this player play for the Chicago Bulls?
No.
Did this player win a championship?
No.
Okay. Is this player black?
I'm gonna say no.
No. Wow. Okay.
No.
Interesting. Same. Okay.
This is about to be your ninth question.
Right. Okay. Center. Did this player play for the Boston Celtics?
No. I don't think you're gonna get this one.
I don't think I am either. Was this player a starting center?
Yes. I think he's always been a starter his whole career.
Okay. Second here. Is this player retired?
No. He had 9 more.
Okay. Okay. This is hard. This is really hard. Okay. Is this player Domantas Sabonis?
Good question. No.
Yes. Um, Starting center his whole career. He's still playing right now. Interesting.
Was the Montes a starting center? He was listed power forward.
Wait, you said yes or no? Okay. Does this player play for the Milwaukee Bucks?
No.
Okay.
That was a good. I know who you were thinking of. That was a good question. That was a good question.
What am I at now? 12?
This is gonna be your 14th actually.
14? Okay. 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 Is this player known to be a good shooting center?
No.
That just made it a lot harder.
You think it'd be that way though, right?
Yeah.
A white center shooting threes, but I feel like that would be easier for you.
Okay, so my question earlier you answered, and he plays for an Eastern Conference team. But let me ask you this: Was
You
he
said,
drafted?
you asked is he drafted by Eastern Conference team? And I said
Oh,
yes.
okay, okay.
Now, if you
You're
want
right.
to
You're right.
ask if he plays for Eastern Conference team right now, you can.
Yeah, I'm asked that.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
16.
16th, man. This is really hard. Yeah. Who is? This is really hard, actually. I thought this would be a lot easier doing a
You got
big
5
man.
left. Yeah, yeah. You got 5 left though.
Okay, I'm gonna try not to take too long. Okay, so Millie, that's him right now. Nope, 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 nope. Does this player play for the Wizards?
Does this player play for the Wizards? No.
Wow. Dang. Okay. Does this player
You
play
hear
for the
that dog,
Charlotte
right,
Hornets?
too, buddy? Right? I thought I was hearing stuff. Yeah, it's a dog. My
Does
windows are open. What's up?
does this player play for the Charlotte Hornets?
Yes.
Miles Plumlee.
No, it's Mason Plumlee, but
Mason
yeah,
Plumlee.
it's Mason Plumlee. Yeah, you got it at the eight. That was your 18th guess. Nice.
let's
You're right there.
let's go.
I'm not gonna ask my second
Man.
one for the sake of time. We don't want this episode to be too long, but I mean my third one for the sake of time. We don't want it to be too long, but yeah. All right, you can ask me yours now, and I'm ready to do my research right here.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm ready when you are. Let me close my windows real quick.
Go ahead.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. Ask away.
Has this player ever been a Chicago Bull?
No.
All right, that was a waste of a question, but I just felt like you'd pick a Bull. All right, all right. He's not a Bull, ever, right? Never been a Bull. Okay. All right,
Never.
so
Never.
all right, so that's my first question. Um, damn, this is already harder than it is. Is this player currently playing?
Yes.
Okay, that sums it down a lot. All right. Is this player in the starting five?
Yes.
Okay, that sums it down a lot now. Okay, I'm gonna get this now. I already got a guess, but it's all right. Is this player a shooting guard?
No.
Okay. Is this player a guard?
Yes.
So he's a point guard. Okay. Okay. Is this player in the Western Conference?
Yes.
Okay. He's a point guard in the Western Conference. How many questions is that?
That's 6.
Damn, that's 6. Jesus. Okay, so that was my sixth question. Is this player playing? Is this player averaging more than 25 a game?
We check just to make sure. Let me see. You said is he averaging what now?
Over 25 a game.
Yes.
Does this player play for the Memphis Grizzlies?
No.
Okay. Am I at 10 yet or no?
No, you're at 9.
Okay, this is about me my 10th. So I'm going to take a guess here for my 10th question. Is this player SGA?
No.
Okay. Okay. Was this player drafted in the last 5 years?
No.
Okay. Has this player ever been an All-Star?
Yes.
And he's currently averaging over 25? That's
Yep.
crazy. What the heck? So he's been an All-Star.
Wait, I'm
He's in the
sorry. You
West.
said has he never been an All-Star or has he been an All-Star?
Has he been an All-Star?
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Damn. Averaging over 25, he's been an All-Star. There's no way you're picking. Is this Steph Curry?
No.
Okay. I was about to say there's no way you're gonna pick the same one I picked, but I had to just ask. But there's no way it's okay. So it's not Chris Paul. He's not averaging over 25. So it's not Memphis. It's not the Suns. It's not the Thunder. It's not the Warriors. And he's been an all-star. How many questions am I at?
You're at 14.
I don't want to ask this. I don't want to waste this pick, but I feel like you would pick him. Is it Luka Doncic?
No.
Damn it. Okay, so it's not Luka. So it's not the Mavericks either.
It's a lot of great
West.
Western Conference.
I didn't even think there was actually. That's been an all-star too. That wasn't drafted in the last 5 years, so they're not young either. Um, and he's the starting point guard. You said correct?
Yep.
Okay. I mean, if he's averaging over 25, he better be the starting point guard. Trying to think who is NBA. So we got he's averaging over 25. Is it Damian Lillard?
Yes.
That was a good one. That was a good one. It was gonna be in between. It was gonna be in between. What's it called? Russell Westbrook, but I knew Russell Westbrook wasn't averaging 25, and then I was like, maybe I don't know if De'Aaron Fox has recently been an All-Star. I don't think he has.
No,
So
not yet.
the only other option was Damian Lillard. Damn.
Yeah.
That
He's
was a
having a
good one.
heck of a season. He's
He is
averaging
having a good
20
year. Yeah, he's a dog right now. That's crazy. All right. It's Damian Lillard. All right, I got in. How many questions?
and 16.
All right, not bad. I'm proud of myself for that one. All right, and I didn't look up anything into the last one. I had to look up NBA standings. I had to see who was in the West real quick. But yeah, all right, that was good. That was good. All right, we're gonna move on to some hot takes. This is gonna be like a big part of our podcast. We're gonna go to a lot of hot takes every podcast. We're gonna be a little quick with these. We might get a little bit debate in here because there's some that I think you might disagree with me in. But we're gonna start off. We're gonna start off with this. The Memphis Grizzlies will win the NBA Finals this year.
My take, no.
I think it's L
Or
take
not.
as well.
It's an L take, yeah.
You know what? I wouldn't. You know what?
You
I'm gonna rephrase
want to know
that.
why?
I
Do
wouldn't
you
call it
want
an
to know
L
why?
take though. I wouldn't call it an L
I
take.
wouldn't call it an L take.
But I'm not gonna call it a W.
I'm not, yeah. I'm in the middle about it because I feel like talent and depth, you know, you got Brandon Clark, Ty Jones. They have some good depth, some solid depth. You wouldn't think so by the names when you watch them play. They have decent depth.
Yeah.
My problem is I don't think they make it. First of all, they have great defense,
They do.
but I just don't think they make it that far when it comes to not being able to shoot threes. Great. Desmond Bane's just getting back. He's still shooting pretty good, but he's just getting back. Dylan Brooks has been struggling a lot recently. John Morant's not known to be a shooter. He may shoot one a game, maybe two max, usually three. He's iffy. He can hit a three or two. Steven Adams is just stay down low, don't move. And when Jaren's having an off day, so is he. And when he usually takes at max 3 3-pointers a game, so he's cutting most of the time.
But that's what I like about them
So
too.
I just don't like their 3-point shooting.
I feel like they're showing that in this NBA you could still be a non-shooter team and be a contender. Because I think they're a top 5 team to be a favorite to win, in my opinion. I don't think it's an L take. Like there's a chance you can't count them out, but I'm certainly not gonna count them in.
I also don't count them in just because of their experience.
Yeah.
Because the cockiness they have being so young, which is nothing wrong with that. But I mean, you heard Clay. Dylan Brooks is telling them they're a dynasty when it's their first time in the playoffs in 3-4 years.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't think it's an L take, but I'm not gonna call it a W.
A mediocre take.
I'll be like a neutral, little N take. It could go either way, but it's not a W. All right, this one is interesting because a lot of LeBron fans are not gonna like this one. This is a hot. By the way, I didn't come up with any of these hot takes. These are hot takes that I've seen on Twitter. These are hot takes that I've seen on articles and stuff like. So I didn't come up with any of these. So don't bash me on these. But this one is Westbrook and AD are a better fit than Bron and AD.
You know what?
Okay, so let me tell you. I'm gonna
I
start it
feel
off.
like. Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
think I think this is an L take. The only reason why.
Hmm.
Don't get me wrong. Westbrook and AD when LeBron was out was playing very good with each other. They're really good with each other, and it just shows that Westbrook plays a lot better when LeBron's not playing on the same court with him. Like Westbrook's a lot better. So I think it's gonna benefit Westbrook more. I think they're really good with each other, Westbrook and AD, but I wouldn't say it's a better fit than LeBron and AD. The reason why is because you gotta understand this: LeBron and AD won a championship with each other. Do I see Westbrook and AD winning a championship with each other? No, I do not. I mean, unless obviously Bron is there and they get a little bit more shooting and all that.
But what
But
if we're talking prime Westbrook,
I
or
don't
we
see.
talk about Westbrook now?
I don't. Westbrook now for sure. No, prime Westbrook. You can make an argument. You can make an argument. But I feel like Westbrook's had someone way better than AD and KD. You know, he had a better D.
Yeah,
You know, like uh, so I probably would still say no. I don't see them winning a championship with each other, anyways.
I say W to the take, as in the question. But will they win a championship together? A championship? No.
See that, but that's why a lot of people be like, how you gonna say a W take to that when Bron did it with him and Westbrook might not be able to?
Yeah, but when did they do it together?
2020.
In the
Don't get me started.
bubble.
Listen,
In the bubble.
I wasn't a big fan of the bubble championship either, but at the same time, it's an NBA championship, and they were away for their families for a long time, so you got to put some respect on it.
You know what was a
Some
big
respect. I
factor?
won't give it
You know what I
100%
think?
respect, but I'll give it like 75% respect.
Yeah. You know what I think was a big factor in that bubble game though? Or not even just the bubble playoffs in general for them. There being no fans. You notice how
Yeah,
they play when the fans are screaming at home and everything else. If I'm not mistaken, every year they have a better away record than at home.
yeah.
But go
So,
ahead.
I mean, you say W, I say L, because just for the simple fact that Braun has won with him. But like I said, I think it will fit Westbrook a lot better because Braun won't be there. Like Westbrook's numbers are just gonna go through the roof. Everybody's gonna love Westbrook again, but except for LeBron fans, obviously, because they're gonna be like, "Why weren't you doing that when Braun was there?" But
Oh,
you know,
oh yeah.
but I don't know. I say L take to that one. All right, this one is interesting because we know this guy's a dog, and he's had some injuries already, and came back and still was a dog. But I've seen this take a couple times, especially recently. Lamelo's ankle injuries will have him out of the league early.
I give it an L take, and I say that because I mean we have two torn ACL, two torn meniscus. Derrick Rose still able to play and give you solid minutes.
But he's not playing though like that.
Well, the only reason he's not playing because they're looking to trade him because they're trying to get this kid to play more. But I mean, Rajon Rondo just recently stopped being in the league, like what, 2 years ago? He's never been a scorer. He's been injured a lot. Ricky Rubio's been injured a good amount. So even with his ankle injuries, he'll always have a job as at least a backup point guard because his court vision's too good. Doesn't
Yeah,
mean he's gonna score 20 points or 15 points, but
well
he'll
said.
always have a job as a point guard.
Well said. I agree with that. I mean, I think a lot of people overreact that he keeps getting injured, but yeah, I look at it like this too. I'm sorry, I'm gonna bring it up. The greatest point guard of all time, Stephen Curry, early on in his career, a lot of ankle injuries, and look at him now. You know, greatest of all time. I don't care what nobody says.
And what's he wearing on his ankles?
Ankle brace. Like, tell him
There
to
you
look at
go.
an ankle brace. It's that simple. Like, all he has to
I'm
do is get an ankle brace if he doesn't want to get injured, bro. But
saying.
yeah, that's for sure an L take. But I think people are overreacting about that. But now this, we will argue here. I see an argument coming here. Okay, I don't know where you stand by this, and I used to stand a certain way by this, but I don't know. Giannis would be terrible if he was 6'2".
The W take.
L take.
He would be terrible because if he's 6'2", put him in. I'm gonna say prime Derrick Rose, John Morant right now. You gotta look at him as if he was that height because that's what height they are. I think Josh 6'3", but that's their height. So if you look at Giannis and you just shrink his famous 6'2", 6'3", or I'm sorry, 6'2", he wouldn't be able to shoot as good as prime Derrick Rose nor John Morant. He's also not as smooth and slippery as them. He's very blocky. So he's not gonna be able to just go straight to the paint and go over everybody. He's under everybody now. And since
See,
he doesn't know how to maneuver and isn't smooth like them, he's gonna end up getting blocked a lot.
I don't agree with that because Giannis, for someone who is 7 feet, and I used to disrespect this guy's game so much. You know it. I used to hate this guy. I used to very much disrespect this
I think
guy's game.
everybody did at one point.
Like I just thought it was too easy for him. That's why. But at the same time, you think about it, dude. There's not a lot of people at 7 feet doing his moves. Like he's very
No.
crafty with the ball. You know, he can dribble the ball. He's very crafty. He can control the ball. He's a very good playmaker. He's a very good playmaker. One, I think as a point guard, I'll see him a very good point guard. He's athletic as
But
hell, bro.
he is.
Your comparison to John Morant, I think that's exactly who he'll be, John Morant. And the reason why,
But remember, all
I
we're
think he
doing
has
is
just as good of a
shrinking.
shot as John Morant. I'm sorry
But
to
all we're
disrespect Ja, but I think he
whoa,
has
whoa,
just as
whoa.
good of a shot as John
Well, you
Morant.
gotta remember, we're not adding anything nor taking away. We're just shrinking him.
You're right.
So if we're shrinking him, his handles would not be even the average point guard handles. Even backup point guards would have better handles than
Well,
him,
you got to
number
think about it
one.
like this: if you're shrinking him, although we're not switching his game because he's getting shrunk,
Right.
but him being smaller, it's only going to make him more agile, more quick. So maybe his handles will be a lot better because him being so small.
But now he's not beating everybody to the bucket and towering over them. He'll
He's
still probably
fast
be
though.
fast. He's a lot
He,
shorter. So
but
it's
that's
going
what
to
I'm
take
saying.
longer.
I see him just like John Morant. Like I said, I see them both have very athletic. They both have a lean, muscular built. You know, um, I think his shot is just as good. I'm not calling John Morant's shot good because they're both of their shots are ass. Like let's be honest,
Yeah,
like
they're
both
not
of their
that
shots
great.
are bad. But like if we're comparing it to the bad rate, his is just as good as John Morant's. I don't think John Morant can consistently hit three threes a game, two threes a game, blah blah. Blah. Like they both shoot them. They both shoot them. Giannis shoots a lot of them, but they hit like one maybe two every other game. So I think he's just like John Morant, dude. I wouldn't compare him to Prime D Rose because I think Prime D Rose has a better shot than both of them, a better mid
Yeah, for
range than
sure.
both of them, a bigger bag than both of them. But I think he'll be an all
Okay,
star.
okay. But I think an exact comparison of Giannis shorter, rebounds, and everything all, meaning like this player has all the package, right? And you would, if you shrink Giannis, you would compare the two. Russell Westbrook, not a very good shot, fast, flasher, gets rebounds, goes over you, handles. And I think if we shrink Giannis, I don't think he's as good as Russell Westbrook. Although they would
But I
have the
don't think,
same.
but I don't think John Morant is as good as Russell Westbrook. Right now, yeah, he's better than Russell Westbrook, but as a
Yeah,
career
yeah.
whole, no,
As
there's
a
no
career,
talent.
no, no, no.
Like
John's still too young.
OKC Westbrook, even Rockets Westbrook. You can even say every Westbrook before the Lakers. I wouldn't say John Morant's better than that Westbrook.
Yeah, even Brooklyn Nets Westbrook.
This guy, oh, this guy. No, but yeah, that's just me though. I personally don't see that. But I mean, I'm still gonna say it's an L take. I think he'll be good. I think he'll be good. I mean, like I said, I used to hate this guy, but now I actually really do like him, and I think he would be just like John Morant. I think he'll be an all star. I do.
I still don't like him. The reason why I don't
I,
like him, I know I
don't.
should say no, I don't like him. I don't like his play style, and the reason that is because number one, obviously when he plays my team, I feel it's not fair. But I'm pretty sure everybody feels that way. Everybody, because
Yeah.
nobody can stop him. But number two, my point is that we're getting these bigs now, like although he's not as fast, like Jokic, like Ben Simmons. Well, Kevin Durant's been him, you know what I'm saying? But Kevin Durant, Bobo, incoming Victor Wembanyama, who I think is probably gonna be overrated. All these bigs who can dribble and go to the rim and everything else, but they just can't do it like Giannis.
Yeah.
That's all my point. There's no reason why Ben Simmons shouldn't be towering over everybody and dunking and laying up almost every time he goes to the hole and scoring 25 points a game. Unless he's playing Giannis or he's playing against Joel Embiid, maybe not even. But and Bam Adebayo's kind of having an off year. Nobody else in the Eastern Conference stopping him at the hole. Who's going to stop him? Al Horford?
Nope.
You know what I mean? If he trains like Giannis and just, I mean, his frame and how heavy he is, he should be mini Giannis. He should be 20 and 10 and 6. And he's averaging, I think, 8 and 7 and 6 or something like that.
Yeah, he's. I mean, right now he's already amazing. Like he's gonna be the greatest person to ever play power forward of all time. He's gonna be the
I
greatest
think
power
so.
forward of all time, without a doubt.
If
But
he gets another chip too, there's no debate.
he's gonna be a dog. It's just I don't know. It's hard to stop him. You think about Shaq back in his era. Like it was nobody could stop Shaq. That's Giannis right now. Nobody can stop Giannis. If you're in the paint with Giannis, he's not being stopped. There's nobody in the league that can block Giannis or contest Giannis a consistent amount where it's gonna harm him. Like he's gonna get past him every single time. So him putting him at 6'2", I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine. Obviously, he's gonna get blocked a lot more and all that, but that's just comes with being that small in the NBA.
Yep.
But I think then I'll take. Now this one, we're for sure gonna argue on this one because I already know how you feel about this guy. I saw this on Twitter, and I already know what you're gonna say, but I'm gonna argue with you. I'm here to argue. This one is Trae Young isn't as good as people think he is.
This guy, Trae Young.
Dude, Trae Young is Trae Young. Like, he's him.
So what is
That's
the
an
question
outtake.
again? Is he overrated or
Trae Young isn't as good as people think he is.
okay? So you know what? I want to let me pull up some stats here.
I'm curious. I wanna see your debates on these stats.
I want to see okay because I found out yesterday
We had an argument
that
on this before.
Trae Young has one of the highest usage rates in the NBA. If I'm not mistaken, he's higher than Luka at 33%. That means every time on offense, he's either taking the shot or has the ball in his hands as an assist or to make the play, whatever, about 33% of the time. So let me see his total stats. Let me see here. Okay, here we go.
Are
Oh,
you looking at career stats or this season?
I'm looking at both. I'm looking at this season right now and career stats. Okay.
Okay.
So he's went down in 3-point percentage. Okay.
See, that one
Put
was a
it to you
shock.
this.
That wasn't a shock. I thought he was going to be a lot better with DeJounte Murray and the 3-point percentage
I
wise.
did too.
And I've always said that he's very inefficient with the 3-point shot. I don't think he's as good as a shot as he thinks he is, but that's not going to take away from his whole game. So keep going.
Yeah. So I mean, put it to you this way: his rookie season, he shot 32.4% from the three, and this season he's shooting 31.9. So he's at his lowest he's ever been. Um, this is his middle area and free throws. His assists have always been there, no question. His turnovers, he's averaging 4 a game.
What's his assist,
That's
though?
not
You said his assist has always been there. What's his assist?
9.8. So every year he's won a
Okay.
rookie 8,
What is his
sophomore 9,
assist right now, today?
9.8,
His assist
9.8
as of right
average.
now.
Yeah.
I'm going to check right now.
Yep.
I
Go ahead.
believe you, but I want to double check.
Every season since his first season, he's been averaging 9.3 or above.
Okay. Stats. 9.8.
This year,
Okay.
This year is his second lowest field goal percentage of his career, only by what? His first year. And now, mind you, this is the way you got to think about it, right? His 3-point percentage is lower than his rookie, and
At what percentage?
his okay. So his 3-point percentage as a
Is in
rookie
the
was
30s?
32.4. Yep,
Okay,
and this year's 31.9. And if you look at all his
that's
other
bad.
seasons, he shot 34 or above
No, yeah, that's bad.
previous 3 seasons. His field goal percentage is just barely higher than his rookie season,
But what is
and
his
he's
field goal
also
percentage? His
playing.
field goal percentage is 42.
Yeah,
Me
it's 42.
personally, as a point
His
guard,
rookie's 41.8.
listen. Me personally, as a point guard, when majority of your shots are 3-point shots and you're not shooting good at them, and then when you're shooting like your mid-range shots or your floaters or you're taking it up at the rim, and you still manage to have your total field goal percentage at a 42%, I think he's still pretty efficient. The only thing I would say is he needs to shoot less threes, and I wouldn't even say less threes because when he's shooting like behind the arc, when he's shooting like he's a sharpshooter, like a Luke Kennard and stuff like that, like right behind the 3-point line, he's consistent. It's when he thinks he's Steph Curry and he's shooting from the logo shot. A lot of those logo shots where that's what blemishes his 3-point percentage. He does that a lot. He shoots from the logo a lot. He shoots from 50 feet out a lot, like 35 feet, 45 feet out a lot.
Also,
But I mean, that's why it's so low. Nobody's going to hit
but
consistent like that.
but what y'all gotta think about it. He's also averaging 6 more minutes played than he used to. He used to play about 30 minutes a game. Now he's playing 36. 35.7 to be exact, but
Yeah,
about
no.
6. So he's taking even more shots, and his percentage are even more down.
Yeah, so he's taking
I
more
would like
shots.
to
So
look at
of
the
course,
attempts per
I
game.
feel like his percentage is gonna go down anyways. So I would say like the 3-point percentage this year surprises me. Other years, I understand that his 3-point percentage really sucks, but this year it will surprise me the most because I feel like everybody thought that him besides Dejounte
But,
Murray was gonna be a lot better.
but kisses, this is where it matters. You ready for this?
What's up?
Okay. The same amount of minutes played. This is the first year they went to the postseason, 2020, 2021, compared to last year, 2021, 2022. Okay. He played the same amount of minutes. Their first year in the postseason, he shot 41.8% from the field goal percentage. And last postseason, he was 31.9.
Yeah.
Now listen to this: 31% 3-point percentage their first postseason, and last postseason 18.4 3-point percentage. He also shot
When was that?
78. That this was last year in the postseason. He
And
shot 18 3-point percentage compared to the
but
previous year 31.
okay. Is that for the whole postseason?
That's for the whole postseason,
Who did
all
they
averages.
play? Does it
Didn't they
show?
play New York last year?
I thought
No,
that
no,
was the
no.
following year. That's when he was treating them.
Let me see. Let me see what they played last year.
There's so many. I was really only watching the Warriors games last year, so I don't really know a lot of the postseason from last year.
They played the Heat.
That's why. That's why, dude. Come on.
Hold on, Brandon. I mean, we're
Listen,
talking
okay, 18% is horrible.
18%
I'm
from
not
three.
gonna
Now you
vouch
want
for
to get this?
18%.
Come on. Now watch
18% is
this.
horrible, but it was
His
Miami.
assists were down. He averaged 6 compared to on the season, as you know, 9.6, and even the previous playoff season before, he averaged 9.5. So he averaged 6 this playoffs.
Listen, but look at
He averaged 6 turnovers and 15 points
but look at this though, bro. Look at this.
compared to the
Look at
previous
this.
season,
Let me tell you here.
28 points.
Let me tell you here. Okay, I see the stats. Stats don't lie. I get it. But let me
That's
tell you
called
something.
overrated.
Let me tell you something.
When you're hyped up like that and you perform like a technically speaking, and that thing he played 38 minutes. That's performing. I'm pretty sure some of the bench players on his team had the same stats with a better 3-point percentage.
I agree. But listen, that's what I'm saying. When you're looking at stats and you're looking at that postseason, but you also left out the team until I asked. They're playing Miami. Miami's a top 3 defensive team in the NBA. Not just in their conference, in the NBA. That's one. 2, last year, that was before the DeJounte Murray era, right? So his only second option was John Collins, and John Collins wasn't really showing out like that either. So
Yeah, Clint Capella.
Clint Capella, but Clint Capella wasn't there to be the scorer. He was there he was doing his job. He was rebounding
Brandon,
and blocking shots.
Brandon,
But
Bogdanovich,
I was gonna say that too. Listen,
DeAndre Hunter.
DeAndre Hunter was hurt.
You're right. He was not last
DeAndre Hunter
postseason,
was hurt. Yeah, he
but
was.
the first he was hurt last postseason.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was hurt last year. This was his first year coming back. I'm pretty sure. But listen. I'm not disrespecting Bogdanovich. I'm not disrespecting John Collins. I'm not disrespecting Clint Capella. But when you're playing a top 3 defensive team in the league, in the
He
playoffs,
did.
in
Mhm.
the playoffs, you're not gonna rely on those guys to win you a basketball game. Those guys are not gonna do it. Trae Young is the guy that was gonna do it. If you take Trae Young out of that team, they probably wouldn't make the playoffs, and they probably are nowhere near they're doing anything good versus that Miami team in the playoffs for a fact. So when you have Trae Young and he's taking the majority of his shots, good, that's his job. But when he's playing a top 3 defensive team, all they got to do is look at him. He has to find other people, and maybe they weren't hitting shots, maybe they were, but at the same time, like, they weren't going to be there to win that series for them. It was going to be up to Trae Young at the end of the day. So, like I said, 18% is horrible from the 3-point line, but at the same
But
time, like, he had to take that many shots. He did.
he did. But exactly why overrated. He didn't make any of them.
I mean, he's playing the best defensive team. If he plays any other team
And by the way, I
besides the
looked it up.
Celtics,
DeAndre Hunter was there for those playoffs. He was injured, but
okay,
he came back before the playoffs.
okay,
So you
but
had
yeah,
DeAndre Hunter, Bogey, John Collins, Clint
like I said,
Capella,
I'm not taking
and
away
Trae Young.
from those guys. I'm not taking away from those guys. But those guys weren't gonna win you that series. Trae Young was, and if they played anybody besides Miami or the Celtics, he would put more of a fight. He's gonna, even if they played the Bucks, he would have did better. Like that. I mean, you gotta look at the team they were playing. So I mean, you can say it's a W take. I can understand that because some people think he's a top 3 point guard in the
Okay.
league when he's not. But
Okay, he's currently averaging 3-point attempts last season. Oh, and this season, wow, I was about to say 8 3-point attempts. And he's shooting 30%. So he's making about 2.5.
okay,
And there's also, Brandon, you and I know sometimes stats don't matter. Sometimes it's the eyeball test, right? I've been watching just the past couple of days some Atlanta games because my Bulls haven't been playing because they went to Paris, got the W. You know what I'm saying?
and that
But
boring ass game.
it was like an all-star game. What are you talking
This
about?
guy.
I seen Trae Young. They're playing the New York Knicks. Trae Young had a lot of points. But I see Trae Young hit a three-pointer. And then this was multiple times in different games. He'll hit a three-pointer, and the next 3 possessions, shoot 2 more contested three-pointers, and then try to go lay it up and miss all 3. So the reason why he's overrated is because when you see does Steph see one bucket go in and start shooting the next 5 possessions
Hell yeah,
unless he's wide open?
because he's Steph Curry.
That's Steph
Nah,
Curry though. But even then, he usually passes it, right? Or at least Clay's
he's
shooting
not.
one
Yeah,
shot,
yeah,
someone's
I
shooting.
agree.
So that's the point. And you can visibly see John Collins is upset. DeAndre Hunter was like, I'm open. And DeJounte Murray shaking his head and they're running back. And they're up in this game. But this is when they were playing New York actually 2 days ago. They were barely up because they won that game by 2 points. So he's taking these shots and the stats look good. Oh, he had 28 points this game and 9 assists or whatever. He played 36 minutes and he took 27 shots. You're taking 27 shots, you better at least have 25 points.
You know what I think it is? I
Why
think
he's overrated. I think he's overrated because if you even give him, I'm just going to compare him to one of my favorite players, not that he's super raw, but let's say Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine averages 17 and a half shots a game, and he's currently averaging 24 points. Don't you think he could average probably 33, 34 if he got 27 attempts a game?
yeah.
So what would happen if you only gave Trae Young only 18, 20 attempts a game? He probably averaged more like 18, 20 points.
I still think he would be a 25 points per game story. And let me tell you why.
But
If you're the coach and you're telling him, I don't want you taking no more than 18 shots a game, right? I want you to cap yourself at 18 shots. He's gonna go out there with a smarter mindset. Like, okay, I'm taking 18 shots. Let me take 18 smart shots then. Okay, he's over here. What it is, I was gonna say this before you brought that up. You gotta, I think it's the coach or the organization have to have a sit down talk with him it's a lot of a confidence thing in his head, a lot of cockiness in his head, where he's all like, "I'm him. I can shoot from this, and even if I'm not gonna make it, I'm gonna make 1 out of 5," and that's a problem. I agree with that. That is a problem. He shouldn't be thinking like that. He should be thinking,
Because
"I'm gonna.
any
I should be
NBA
taking.
player should make 1 out of 5.
I should be taking the smartest shots possible," and he's not doing that. So I agree at that point. But when we're talking about his game and him being as good, he's a dog. He if he's taking the smart shots, he's gonna hit them. If he's taking the smart drive, he's gonna hit it. If he's making the smart play, he's gonna hit the open guy a lot of the time. But what it is like people were so hyped about this DeJounte Murray thing going there, and I think it got to his head like, okay, I'm not gonna be the point guard as much. I might have to be a shooting guard, and he wants to act like a point guard still. But
Yeah,
I
he's
feel like
still
that's
running
not his
point guard.
job. I think he has to be the shooting
Yeah,
guard because DeJounte Murray will be a
I
20
agree.
times better facilitator. And if Trae Young is running the off ball, kind of like how Steph Curry does a lot, he's
Yep,
gonna get a lot more
he would
open multiple
he would
times,
thrive.
and he's gonna be a lot better. So,
I
like I
agree.
said, he's going out. It's like a coaching issue too because he's going out there. The coach is telling him, "Go take whatever the hell you want. Take as many
Well,
shots as
I
you
don't know
want.
if
Shoot
you've
whatever
seen
you
the
want."
reports. I don't know if you've seen the reports a month ago. Him, and the coach, have been getting into it
And that's probably why.
specifically for I would think this reason. He's also having problems with the front office of the Atlanta Hawks.
And that's
So I don't
probably
think he'll
why.
get traded, but people were saying that maybe he might get traded, whatever, because there's problems. Because the way you got to think about it, if you're Trae Young, is you're number one. This is with all stars, all offensive superstars. You're a huge liability on defense.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go put Trae Young on a high-powered offense. Like let's say right now, I'm not saying they're great, but they're playing really good. Um, I don't know the Pelicans, somebody like them. They can't have one more defensive liability. The only two, like the New York Knicks now with Jalen Brunson, who's not really a defender, although he's trying to play defense. I think their shooting guard got benched, Evan Fournier. You think he plays defense? Most of these teams, the Chicago Bulls, even the Dallas Mavericks, nobody can afford another high octane offensive player with no defense. The only
Yeah.
teams he could probably get traded to realistically that would work would be the Miami Heat, and literally, I would hate to say this because I would hate to see this, but the Milwaukee Bucks. Those are only two places with oh, let me scratch that also, and the Boston Celtics. Those are the only three teams that could actually probably trade number one picks and somebody for him, but that can also support him and let him play like he plays because they don't have to worry about him on
I think it's a
defense.
little bit more teams than that. Like if you put him in the Brooklyn Nets, it will have to be some type of trade for Kyrie Irving, because Kyrie doesn't play defense. That would work.
That's
I think
true,
if you put
but
him
I
in
mean,
the
but that's the thing though. That's the point. If it's a straight up trade, yeah, but no, it would work. Atlanta would be willing to do it because the percentages and Kyrie makes more buckets and is more efficient and everything else. But I don't see the Nets wanting to do that because Kyrie is exactly Trae Young but better. Kyrie doesn't
if
play
they
defense,
trade, you're right.
but he
I
plays
agree.
off
But I'm
ball.
just saying,
But think about the defenders.
if you were to swap that, I think he'll fit there. Like I agree though, but
I don't think he fits there because you and I know KD's number one, baby.
I agree.
And that's some
But
of
I
Trey's
think
problem
that's what's
right now.
gonna
He
help
doesn't
him.
want to share.
I think that's what's
Uh,
gonna help him, because that's the same thing about Zach. But I don't want Zach to be the number one player on the Bulls. I don't.
Because the reality is, as much as I hate to say it, like I'm a Bulls fan, just so everybody knows,
We
Zach
both
Levine,
are.
as of right now, is not, nor is he showing he's gonna be a superstar player. Like, and I even hate to say it because right now this is what this guy's proven to be, and we've talked about him a lot today. John Morant, Nikola Jokic, Jason Tatum. Um,
These guys are all
who else?
leaders, you know. Are
These
someone
guys
that's
are
gonna
all
help
leaders. They're
help you
all
step. I
already,
don't see Zach as a leader. You know, Zach's
yeah,
a very
they're all.
viable second option, but
He's yeah, he's a
just not behind the
he's a
bar. Just not behind the
he's a
bar.
okay. I'm putting it to you guys this way. He's a prime C.J. McCollum, a prime Bradley Beal. They had their captains in John Wall and Damian Lillard. Not that they went anywhere, first of all, right? Not that they went
Hmm.
far in the playoffs, but they had their superstars and then their Robins. Their 1A. Zach Levine's a C.J. McCollum. He's a Chris Middleton, a Klay Thompson. He's gonna be the second option. He's never gonna be the first.
Yeah. But anyways, going back to Trae Young. Um, but like I see him, like for example, this will help too. Like you can't say he won't fit in a lot of teams. I see a lot of teams that he could fit on. You
Well,
you give you give up Russell Westbrook and a couple picks. You put him on that Lakers team. That's exactly who they need.
but that's the thing. It's exactly why he shouldn't play point guard. The reality is, and I've witnessed it, and when you're looking at his turnover averages too, it's one of the highest in the leagues, above 4. Yeah, he averages 9 assists, but averaging almost 5 turnovers, that's not a good ratio. The only reason you're getting that many assists is because, number one, he's got the second highest usage rate in the NBA, so the ball's always in his hands, and he's playing almost 40 minutes. So it makes sense that he gets that many assists. But his IQ
But you gotta
isn't
think
there.
about it like that too. It also makes sense that he gets that many turnovers. He has one
That's
of the
true.
highest usage rates,
That's true.
and he has one of the highest minutes played per game. So
But do you think having Anthony Davis and LeBron James that you need a score first point guard?
yes, I think that's exactly what they're missing. They're missing that score first option. Russell Westbrook is not that score first option. Russell Westbrook is also a pass first point guard, but LeBron James has clearly shown and clearly said that he's a pass first player too. He wants to get his teammates involved. If you challenge him to score, he will score, but he wants to get the team involved. So I think him with Trae
I
Young, he would love him on his team.
I think the Lakers, just because we're touching this topic, because we're talking about them, I think the Lakers need a young third option, not super young, but a young third option who's a bucket. I mean,
Yeah,
Tyler Hero, we already talked about him. Zach LaVine, Anthony Simons. They just need a third option on the wing who, when they hit him, there's a good 40-50% chance he's scoring. Either he's shooting or he's going to get to the bucket.
yeah,
I don't think they need a score first point guard who's not going to be looking to have them score, because the whole point of the third option on a team like that is the third option is really the main option. Because if you're playing the Celtics, what's happening? Jason Tatum's guarding AD, and you have Jaylen Brown guarding LeBron. So the third option is being guarded by the third best defender,
I
or if that. So
agree,
you're going
but
to
then
have
I
more
don't
opportunity.
agree. I agree, but I don't agree. This could be a hot take itself. If Trae Young was to get traded for Russell Westbrook and a couple of picks, right? And you have Trae Young, like I said, I don't know how that trade will work. I don't know how the salaries will work. I don't know what the money. I'm not a GM, but let's say as a fan point of view that happens, right? And you have Trae
Mm.
Young, LeBron, and AD on the same team. I am sorry, very hot take. Trae Young will be the second option, and I say Anthony Davis is the third option, and that will put a lot more push off of Anthony Davis. It'll let Anthony Davis. It'll help Anthony Davis probably stay more healthy too because he's not playing so aggressive,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
so and all he has to do is just get a rebound, block a shot here and there, and just when he's open, score. That's it. But then you have Trae Young who's gonna push the pace a lot more with LeBron, and I
Yeah,
personally
but
would have
now,
AD be the third option on that team.
but number one, even with LeBron and AD healthy, Los Angeles doesn't have that great of a defense. LeBron and
Yeah,
AD
but
are it. That's
I
literally
agree.
their defense.
But I think
And Russell
their
Westbrook's a
offense
good
is gonna help
defender
them.
too. His offense is going to help them. But what LeBron now, well, I'm sorry, AD now has to play less offense, and even LeBron too, because Trae Young would be a great third option, more like a second, maybe even a 1A, depending on the night. They have to make that up now on defense.
You're right, but when you like, this is when
Because it's not
the
even that he's not
Lakers
a good
GM has to
defender.
be smarter. They have to make when
On
if they were to make a trade for that, they'll have to make a secondary trade to get a backup defender. For example, like getting obviously they let him go, but like if they could get a backup defender like a Alex Caruso, they won't get him. But I'm saying like someone like that, where if it's 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, the Lakers are up by 5. LeBron and AD can now hold that. They could bring Alex Caruso just for that extra defense, and Trae Young will be sitting out in that clutch time. Now, if they're down by 5, that's a different story. You could put Alex
mm,
Caruso in there. I'm not saying Alex Caruso like because that's not gonna happen, but like a defender like that, like someone that just defends like that. You could have them playing alongside on Trae Young, so Trae Young can still do the scoring, and they'll help him out. I obviously they're gonna try to get the switch on Trae Young, but AD and LeBron are smart enough to work on rotation defense on something like that. I think they'll be fine. I think one liability on defense won't hurt them so bad because everybody else, although like you said, they're not the best defensive team, they could stay in
I mean,
front of a
come on.
man.
Austin Reeves is your starting shooting guard. You see him playing defense?
He could stay in front of a man.
But is he playing
He
defense?
can't play defense. But like I'm saying, in the clutch time, if you put him like if they're playing the Celtics, right? You put him on Malcolm Brogdon, you put him on Marcus Smart. He can stay in front of them. And I think the same thing of Trae Young. I think Trae Young can stay in front of Marcus Smart. I don't think it'll hurt them that much because of that. Now they're gonna try to get the switch on a Jason Tatum or on a Jaylen Brown, of course. But that's when I think the IQ of LeBron and AD is gonna help them so much because I think they'll be fine on the rotation defense.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I can see that.
I going back to the take, I think it's an L take. Trae Young is a dog, and I don't care what nobody says. Trae Young is one of the best point guards in the league, top 5, easily.
What a
But
bald guy.
yeah, he should just cut his hair off though, or just
He really
pay. Like he's a millionaire.
air transplant.
Just pay for it, bro. Like who cares? But yeah, that's beside the point. I feel like his hair gives him superpowers, anyways. But yeah, all right, we're gonna end it off with these last two topics because it's been a while. I don't want to make this episode a lot longer than what it is. So,
Let's try to fly
uh,
through this.
these are two questions. One of them was like a long question, but we're gonna cut that one down in half. All right, so we're gonna start off with who are your picks so far? Like, if you have to pick one team right now, who's winning the finals for you? I know you guys know what I'm gonna say. I'm sorry, they suck right now, but you put them in the playoffs, the Golden State Warriors. Nobody's gonna beat them.
You can't count them out.
You
Everybody
can't.
count them out last season. Weren't they in the play-in last season?
No, they were a high seed last season.
Okay. Oh man, that I really think is gonna take it all. I feel like the obvious answer is the Boston Celtics. They're playing really, really, really good, really in tandem and everything else. But I really do think it's their year. I'm gonna go with the Brooklyn Nets. This is the
I
most
respect
Kyrie's
that.
played in any season so far. We're only halfway through it.
I
KD
respect it.
usually every year gets hurt in the middle of the season. He's always back and doing
But
KD
as long as
things.
they're
Like,
making the playoffs, he's fine in the playoffs. You know.
yeah. And the main thing is that Nicholas Claxton is finally being that defensive anchor they thought he was going to be.
Yep.
He's guarding the 1 through 5. If he gets stuck on a 1, he's staying in front of him and playing great defense.
Yeah.
Royce O'Neal, who they traded for, I did not think he'd be that good. They gave up a first-round pick for him. Royce O'Neal's been playing great. You got a little Jeremy Lin sharpshooter and Yuta Watanabe. You still got Joe Harris who can stroke that thing.
So racist.
You still got, you got Ben Simmons, right?
Yeah.
Who we still need to just come out of his shell, but defensive-wise, that's already great. You got Seth Curry coming off the bench. You got Joe Harris coming off the bench. There's just their bench is also
you can't forget about
deep.
TJ Warren.
TJ Warren, I forgot about TJ Warren. TJ Warren's coming off the bench. They have a really, really solid squad.
They're good. They've always let down in the playoffs, but and it's also because you've always had Kyrie or Harden getting hurt in the playoffs. You know.
And if
So
I'm
that's a
not
big thing.
mistaken, you guys can call it now. I wouldn't be surprised if they trade, even if it's a second-round pick, for Serge Ibaka to bring him off the bench. So I think it's their year.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. I'm saying Golden State Warriors because one, I'm not being biased or Steph Curry, but we all know what Steph Curry could do in the playoffs. Let me tell you, this is my biggest argument. All right, they're gonna make the playoffs. We know that. Even if they make the play-in, they're gonna be fine. But you gotta think about it like this: when they made the playoffs last year, they were still a top seed in the West. Not the top, but they were a top seed in the West. One, and them being one of the top seeds in the West, they were still. People were saying they were gonna lose to Denver. Just Nikola Jokic, Denver, not Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Michael, just Nikola Jokic, Denver team. People didn't think they were going to come out the West at all. They didn't. They were not even. They were nowhere near being the favorites to the West, and I think they play good with that underdog mentality. I think when people count them out, they play a lot better. They have a chip on their shoulder. People right now are counting them out. They don't think they're going to make the playoffs, and they are. You know, people don't think they're going to even repeat.
And I can understand that, but the way you got to think about it, I'll be honest with you, everybody always talked about the West. I think the West is I think it's deeper than it's ever been this year. I'm looking at the standings. Okay, put it to you this way. The person at the third seed and the fourth are pretty much tied at 26 and around 19. And the person out of the outside looking on the play-in, Oklahoma at 11 is 23 and 24. So they're only 3.5 games behind of being the 3 seed if they wanted to. So it's really deep because you got to think about it like this. They're more than likely not getting a high seed only because they're just not picking up yet their away record. And if they're going to be a lower seed, which they usually never are, that means they're not going to have the home court advantage like they usually do. So that's not good for them. But you got Memphis. Denver is actually playing like how they honestly should have been playing the last 3 years. I'm not saying this team's better than Golden State, but if it's a playing game, it's honestly 50-50. I don't, especially if Golden State doesn't have the home court advantage, which in this situation they more than likely won't. Sacramento Kings, the New Orleans Pelicans are number 4. Luka's proven he can go to the Western Conference by himself, and actually this year he has Christian Wood, who I'm not saying is all-star, but he's averaging 17 and 10 off the bench.
Yeah.
The Clippers are 6. I'll be honest with you. With Kawhi not playing everything like that, I don't see the Clippers. I see them maybe winning a playing game and out the first round. The Suns are going to get it together.
Has been balling.
He has, though. He has
been balling.
The Suns are going to get it together. I don't think they're going to the finals, but even then, as Golden State won last time, but again, in this situation, the Suns would have home court.
Me personally,
so I don't know if they win.
Me personally,
Minnesota,
you got the experience. You got them. They've only.
You got the Lakers.
You got to think about it this. They got the experience one. They got the veteran. They got the leadership. They have the greatest shooter of all time. They have a very good defensive leader in Draymond and playmaker. They have a very good sharpshooter in Klay Thompson. They got a very good wing defender who can guard 1 through 5 and they got Kevon Looney. They have Andrew Wiggins who could guard the 1 through 5, like I said. And then off the bench, you have a Jordan Poole who's ready to shoot out the gym. You know.
Do you know what I think it is though? I'm being so serious. Why they're not good on the road?
I think it's just this year. I think it just got to them.
I think it comes down to the Draymond punch at Jordan Poole.
You're right.
Because it's a different energy in the arena where you don't have to worry about things because it's not just yourselves. You got your family, the home crowd, people are cheering in your home locker room, everything else. Versus when you're outside, and obviously
that's probably a lot of things that people bring up all the time on the road.
Yeah, it's just you. It's just your team. So there's no outside distractions or things to distract yourselves or the talking that you have that's a distraction amongst the things around you. Oh, look at him, look at her. It's just the team and the team camaraderie. It's just that. And I think since that punch, when it's just them, I don't think the vibes are as good when they have distractions when they're at home.
Yep. I just think you can't count that man out right there. That man right there. You see this
the best
man
point
back
all
there?
time.
You see that dog that's knocked out right there? Steph Curry? Curry right there? You cannot. Yep. You can't. I mean, listen, in the playoffs, they are only known for choking one time, and I could debate on this finals.
Technically the biggest choke of all time.
I could debate on the finals all the time because that shouldn't have happened. I think that was written. I don't care what nobody says. I could debate on this as much as I want, but we're not. That's not for today. They're known for non-choking in the playoffs. They're known for being that team in the playoffs. They're known for being clutch in the playoffs. Besides that 1 year, and I think they're gonna be fine.
The difference is though, which they never had to deal with, and also it's a new thing for them this year. They've always had home court.
You're right.
They more than likely are not getting home court this year.
Might not, but I think they'll be fine. Last year they were a really good team on the road too. You're right. I think it has to do with the punch, but at the same time, I think it could just be like they lost their first 5 games on the road because they were trying to figure out the what's it called, the lineup situation and all of that, and then people were making a big deal like, oh, you guys suck on the road. They're 0-5. What is going on? And I think it just got to their head. But I think by the time playoffs comes, they're all going to be locked. I think by the second half of the season, once the All-Star break is over, they'll be fine.
I watched a couple of the last few Warriors games, and you probably didn't notice, obviously, because you're watching the game. I want you to look next time. And YouTube for the viewers. I seen a home game, 2 different home games, where Draymond was shooting free throws, and just like everybody else, Jordan Poole hit his hand, right, in 2 separate games. In one of the games, Jordan Poole fell to the floor and Draymond helped him up. The other 3 away games that I seen, all in like different weeks, all like 3 weeks, but back-to-back-to-back weeks away games I've seen, they didn't do that. Draymond went to the ground. Jordan didn't help him up. Jordan and Draymond shot free throws. And everybody else did when they're shooting the free throws. Every other teammate on the floor, except for Draymond and Jordan, wouldn't tap each other's hands.
Never noticed that. I
And
gotta watch that.
I think it shows in the away games.
I gotta watch that. I gotta look into that. I've never noticed that watching the games actually. Um, I mean, Draymond said it himself. It's not. It's not even 50%
He,
there.
yeah, he
You
said it's
know,
not the same.
like it's not the same, and he knows he's wrong, but at the same time, like he's trying to show that respect that he has respect for Jordan, and he want. I mean, let's be honest, bro.
But I'll be
If it's
honest,
true, if it's true for what he said, if
it's
he
them.
actually called Draymond triple single, and that's why he punched him, Draymond's soft. Like, let's be honest,
Soft.
he's soft for that one. But
He
it
is
is
soft.
what it is. All right.
I'll be honest with you though. If any team can overcome it, I think it could be them.
All right. This you're right. I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be fine. That's my pick still. I don't care what nobody says. That's my pick. Anyways, we're going into our last subject. This is gonna end off the podcast. It was supposed to be like the whole entire thing, but we're just gonna keep it with the starting five as of right now. And it's gonna pain me not to say Steph Curry in this answer, but I'm still gonna say him anyways. Who is your starting All-Star for East and the West? I'll go first. I got Steph Curry #1 in the West. I got Luka #2 in the West. I mean, you gotta think about it like this too. The fan votes also help. He's #1 voting in the West. Like he'll be there. He'll be in the starting line just because he's Steph Curry as well. Like even like LeBron. LeBron didn't play a lot last year, and I think that's why it will hurt him because of Steph's injury this year. And then you have SGA doing what he's doing, but at the same time, like LeBron was injured a lot before pre All-Star game, and he comes back, and when LeBron plays, LeBron is LeBron. He's gonna do LeBron things. He's gonna average LeBron numbers, Then he was still starter. So for those reasons, I'm gonna stick with my guy and put Steph Curry #1. I got Luka #2. Got LeBron #3. #4, I got now this one's a iffy one because a lot of people are saying AD, but a lot of people are also saying Zion. I'm personally gonna go with Zion Williamson.
I think Zion deserves it.
I'm gonna go with Zion Williamson for sure. And then #5, I mean, if you want, you can still put AD at the 5. Doesn't really matter. But the 5 is a little tricky. There's a lot of 5s, but then there's not a lot of 5s at the same time. Me personally, I'm gonna go with Jokic. It's easy. I think it's easy. I'm gonna go with Jokic.
And what about your East?
My East. I will go. We'll start with the West first. You give me your West.
Okay, my West. No offense to Steph Curry, I know you're #1 in voting, but there's two people having a better year than you, and one of them would be a first timer. I'm gonna go with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Luka Doncic.
Is
my starting guard.
I think it's in between. It's either Shai or Steph, but I respect that.
For my front court, I'm gonna go LeBron James at the 3, Jokic at the 5. And I am going to go at the 4. See, okay, all these players are all-stars, but it's about who you want to start. I'm be honest with you. If we're talking all around, but we're also talking, remember, you don't want people who are like, I honestly think this should go into this. How much are they playing? Yeah, you averaged, let's say, 28 and 12, but you played up until All-Star break where it's at 42 games. You've played 22 games. Mm-hmm. I think injury history matters in that season.
Yeah.
I want to say I either give it to Lauri Markkanen or Domantas Sabonis.
I'll give you that. That's actually, and you consider both of their records too. Like they're both winning teams right now.
Yep. They're both their improvements. Because Sabonis was never a passer on the Indiana Pacers. Now he's averaging almost 7.
He was. I mean, they were looking for him to score a lot more because they didn't have another scorer like that. But he was a passer. He was still a passer. But I still gotta go Zion. I think he has a chip on his shoulder too because his first All-Star game was horrible. So I think this All-Star game he'll be a lot better too.
All right, let me get you.
My East. All right, on my East, there's a lot to go for the point guard position, but I don't care. I'm gonna go with my man Tyrese Halliburton as a starting
Okay.
point guard.
The
Um,
starting. Okay.
as a starting point guard, I'm going with Tyrese Halliburton. I don't care what nobody says. A lot of people are gonna say, "Blah blah." Left the chat. Tyrese Halliburton's him. Um, for the two, let me go. Let me go to the 5. I got Embiid. The
Okay.
4, I got Giannis. The 3, I got KD. It's a very big lineup, but at the same time, they're doing. I'm pretty sure they're doing captains again this year, so they're not all gonna be on the same team unless the captains suck. But the
Right.
2, who would be my 2? Who would be my 2? I feel like I'm forgetting a player. Let me hear yours. Let me hear yours.
Okay. So on the East, my starting point guard, I'm gonna have to go. This is actually really hard when you think about it. It's got to be between Tyrese and probably Kyrie. You know what? You know what? No. You know what? No. He's just having too good of a season, especially compared to last season. I'm going Tyrese starting at the 1. For my 2 guard, I'm gonna go with. Let's see here. My 2 guard.
I'm gonna switch my whole entire lineup besides the point
He's just
guard.
he's just doing too good. I'm gonna have to go Jaylen Brown, the 2
Yeah.
guard.
Okay.
As much as I want to put no, you know what? No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to switch out Jaylen Brown. I'm gonna go Donovan Mitchell.
That's what I'm gonna go with too.
Jaylen Brown's doing really good, but Donovan Mitchell. And at my 3, I'm putting Jason Tatum, obviously
Yeah.
MVP candidate. At my 4, I'm gonna leave KD out of this only because what do you call it? As of right now, they're saying he might not be back by All-Star break, meaning he wouldn't be able to play.
Doesn't matter. He still be a starter.
Okay, then KD 4.
I'm
And
yeah.
yeah,
I'm taking on Embiid. And I'm putting Giannis at the 5.
be honest, yeah,
Because you know
Giannis
what?
goes.
I was forgetting about Donovan Mitchell, and when you said Jaylen Brown, I was like, okay, I'm going Donovan Mitchell at my 2. So I'm keeping Tyrese. I'm going Donovan Mitchell. You can go Jaylen Brown too. I respect that, but Donovan Mitchell's so much better. And I totally forgot about Jason Tatum, but that's because KD's just been so much better, and then you can't leave Giannis out either.
Yeah,
But then, and then you can't. I feel like you can't leave Embiid out either. But you can't leave Giannis and KD out.
yeah,
Inevitably, if KD doesn't come back, Embiid will be the starter.
yeah, for
But
sure.
if KD comes back, KD's the starter. So I have 5 at Giannis at the 5, and then I got KD at the
I mean,
4,
I will
Tatum at the 3.
believe
I
it,
agree with that.
believe it or not. I don't know if Embiid's the starter if Kevin Durant doesn't play.
Who would
I
be it?
mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm looking at this. I would think based on the stats and everything they're averaging, I would say it's between. And I don't like his game, but I'd say it's between. And he's not number 1 for me. I'm just saying the names right now in no specific order. Julius Randle, Pascal Siakam, and believe it or not, actually, who would be my favorite out of this bunch would be first-time All-Star Paolo Blanchero.
Would Paolo make the All Star team?
Yeah, I think he's averaging 26, 6, and 5. 25, 6, and 5, something like that. Let's see. Let's pull it up.
I'm pulling up. Will Banchero make the All Star team? He's averaging 26 and 4.
26 and 4. Okay. And any assists or no?
4. 3.8.
Okay. No. Well, what about rebounds?
6.5.
Oh, so you said 26 and
Yeah,
4.
26 and 4.
Okay. Okay, I'll take that back. That's not good enough for starter.
I don't think he's gonna be an All Star either, though.
Yeah.
The East is deeper than the West, bro.
But you never know.
I forgot about Randall, but I
Remember,
don't think Randall's a starter.
technically speaking, actually, yeah. Um, See, this is what I don't like. Jaylen Brown shouldn't be in the guard position. Marcus Smart plays the 1. Derek White or Malcolm Brogdon, whoever's starting that day, because they be switching, plays the 2. Jalen plays the 3. Jason plays the 4. And Williams plays the 5.
Mm-hmm.
Al Horford was only playing when this guy was injured.
Yeah.
And they put Brogdon on the bench. And so Al Horford was playing the 5 as Williams was injured. So, technically speaking, if it were me, I wouldn't have Embiid start. I would say Donovan Mitchell, Tyrese Halliburton, and then for my 3, I would put Jaylen Brown, and at the 4, because he plays 4, Jason Tatum. He's been playing 4 all
Mm-hmm.
season, and then the 5, Giannis. I wouldn't put Embiid.
Yeah, I mean, like,
But
I
if you
agree right
can't do
now.
that,
I agree, but if
then
KD's not starting, you gotta put Embiid there.
think so.
I don't have Randall over Embiid, and Randall's having a heck of a year. Don't get me wrong, but I don't have him over Embiid, and I don't have Pascal over Embiid again. Having a
You
heck
want to know
of a
why I
year.
say that?
Very
You want to know why?
underrated. Having heck of a year though too. I don't have him
Because
over
I'm just
Embiid.
looking at the recent front court return for the third fan votes. I'm just looking at that real quick, and I'm comparing Embiid to these people. Giannis, championship. Kevin Durant, championship. Jason Tatum, been to the championship. Jimmy Butler, been to the championship. Pascal Siakam, championship. Julius Randle's went just as far as Joel Embiid. So
Yep.
I just don't see how he would deserve to be a starter when his averages still are a little bit better. Don't get me wrong, this season, but I would give it to one of those other guys because
Yeah.
every year he's a dog in the regular season. He still is really good in the playoffs, but he can never make it past the second round.
Yeah.
So is he really that good?
Yes. He is.
I had James Harden last season and
Yeah,
this
but
season.
no, I don't count that. No. Don't start with
You didn't
that.
think they
Don't
have
start
enough
with
time to
that.
gel?
They didn't have enough time. Don't start with that.
Eh, let
Don't
me
start
see
with
here
that.
real quick.
Listen, I think he'll be a starter if KD's not there. If KD is there, I agree he's not a starter. But if KD's not there, he'll for sure be a starter, in my opinion. But yeah,
Mhm.
um,
Okay.
yeah, we're gonna have to wrap it up because, you know,
You could put Jared Allen. I'm just saying.
stop it. All right, we're gonna wrap it up on that note. All right, this was our second episode. It's gonna be the first one on YouTube. So technically, I'll probably list it as number 1. Um, we're gonna try to do this every week, hopefully every Friday night, and be uploaded by Saturday. This will be uploaded tomorrow on a Monday. But yeah, so follow my TikTok. I post a lot of the short clips of the podcast on my TikTok. I'm trying to start it on YouTube Shorts. It's not. There's a lot of struggles with YouTube Shorts. It has to be under 60 seconds and all that. Blah, blah. There's whatever. But yeah, follow my TikTok, Kiss HD. It's gonna be in the link. Follow my Twitch, Kiss HD. Is gonna be in the link. And if you like betting, if you wanna bet on PrizePicks, I'm gonna plug it in. I'm gonna leave my link in the description. If you haven't bet there, you have to be 18 or older, and click my link. So you can sign up for PrizePicks too. But yeah, so that's it. Me and Mateo are gonna be out of here. Like I said, it's Kisses, aka Brandon. And we're done.